Oh my god, I did not expect this to turn into such a huge grind for a pretty sick trick. I'm gonna have to change the intro to be like, watch to the end. Yo, what the frick is going on? Brand new Kendama video, back again forever. Okay, this is not the exact same day that the last video ended upon. I've just got that moist, critical, cartoon character wardrobe, okay? You might have to get used to that. I even turned my hat backwards for you so it looks like a different day, which it is. It's a different day, but a different video as well. What I've got today is a Kendama trick that is a new trick that I invented. Maybe, probably not. Somebody's probably done this before, but this is a concept that I've been playing around with, and it's very fun to try. And until I see somebody else do it or somebody else gives it a name that might already exist, I'm going to take this opportunity as I can. So I'll show you this new trick that I came up with, and then a whole bunch of tips for you to play around with it, some variations, and then I'll try to hit a nice big old banger with it. Don't expect too much. But basically, the trick concept is to spin the tama in one way or another, and then pull off like a little spin or grind on one of the stall points, or really anywhere on the ken. That's where you can get really creative with it. If I had to coin a name, I think I'd call it the wind and grind, not to be confused with the wind and grind, which is totally different trick, but the wind and grind because the main execution is like a two-stepper. You need to somehow get the tama spinning real quick to make it look cool and interesting, and then you need to pick a spot and be able to kind of grind the tama on there and integrate it into your trick. A brief example, just so you can get the idea before we get too crazy with it, is say I can try to add some spin, and that was kind of like frying pan. Add some spin on the wing and then pop it out, you know? Add some spin, small cup it. Ooh, that one kind of like jumped around. You could integrate it into like a juggling line or something, and then you top up into the juggle there. But you see, it relies on that cool, spinny, grindy motion. Now, a couple tips. I've tried this on some different kendamas, and what makes it the most fun and enjoyable. First, obviously, you need like a natty kendama or some super slippery, glossy paint, because if this was like grippy, cushion clear, or sticky paint, obviously it wouldn't be able to slide as well while it's doing the little grind. Oh, also when you're going to set up for a wind and grind, you want to make sure wherever it's coming from, you want to get like a good, fast, snappy spin. Because if you just come off with like earth turn level power, the second you go to have that grind hit, it's just going to stop. The tama's going to have that friction on the edge of the can, and it's going to just stop. And for it to be like a true wind and grind, it needs to remain spinning until you pop off and do something else. If it stops on the stall point, that's kind of just something different. I'm saying this as if it's like fact, even though I'm pulling it out of my bevel as we're speaking. Another tip is as you do the like wind to go for the wind and grind, you see like if you go from typical earth turn straight like up and down, you'll feel you can get a good wind. However, you can get like a really good fast spin with it. But when you go to say hit your stall point, which I've been using the wing just as the best example, you'll see that the bevel, imagine this is spinning. I have no idea if you can see at all. Imagine as this is spinning, you're gonna hit that bevel and it's gonna cause bumpage. And you don't want bumpage. So I've been doing it at like a 45 or even like a Mars turn type angle, so that when I get that spin going, I can still get that quick snap, but it's on like an axis where the bevel's not gonna hit. So in theory, if you got really good coordination, you get like a much longer spin. Once you learn that angled wind, you'll find that you want to start picking stall points to try to hit. And the only tip that I can really have, other than having some good hand-eye coordination to figure out how to land on those stall points, is rather than being stiff, try to follow it down and see, even with a still tama, you can see the time difference of how long this is able to sit on there and how kind of gracefully I can catch it versus, see, got a little more hope when you're moving around with the tama. Let's try a couple. We could go like even frying pan. I mean, that's like technically a no, I won't do it. It's technically a wind and grind because the tama didn't stop spinning before I like relaunched it out. So even for beginners, that's where you could start. that might have stopped a little bit. Oh, see? If you really snap and get that spin, even in frying pan, you can get a cool little grind going. It just feels cool. It's like doing a kickflip on like a tech deck or something. That's like the most random analogy, but it feels good. Wing is obviously the place that I was kind of naturally trying to go for. It's just the most there. That wasn't very good. You could even try to get like into, you know, there's like the no hole, like birds and stuff. Simple as that. It's like a bird stall wind and grind. I don't know, work with it. Okay, so some unimpressive weird tricks like that is kind of where all of my experimentation started, but I thought of this extra idea which I think could make for a cool clip, and this is the trick that I'm going to go for right now, is instead of snapping or winding the tama like just from being on spike, what if I'm in the juggle, or this could be you, what if you're in a juggle and you use your hand during juggle to snap the tama into that spin, and then you'll be able to use that spin to execute your grind. And that's what I'm going to try, and it would be something like this, like, you know, typically you're juggling and you're just juggling like normal, you're not spinning anything, but what if that offhand did a spin and then you caught the ken like a normal person and grinded one of those stall points? That's what I'm going to try to hit right now. Let's see what happens. Forgot to do it. Ooh, that was almost something. You really gotta, like, as if you're snapping your fingers, really firm, tight grip and pinch if you're going for this in the juggle, because if you don't have enough spin, it just touches the ken and it's immediately dead. Oh, that was like a perfect landing actually. You could see how it kind of cushioned and kept spinning. That was a nice one. That was also a nice one, but I couldn't like keep control. Oh, my sternum. It's hot. What the? That would have been great. Oh, the spin was nice, but couldn't get back up into the juggle. Oh, that was it, that was it, that was it. Oh, that was so close. Oh, that was so close. It's been like an hour. Oh. Oh, I did not expect this to turn into so much of a grind, but we will get it tomorrow. Today, I realized one thing. This trick that I've been going for is less of like a grind and more of like just a spin. So you really could do this with a stickier paint. Keep that in mind. It's not even really the grind trick concept that we started with, but we're here now. We're here now, and hopefully we're not here in another hour. Oh, I think that was it. That felt satisfying. Oh my god. Oh, that felt good. Oh my god, I did not expect this to turn into such a huge grind for a pretty sick trick. I'm gonna have to change the intro to be like, watch till the end. Oh man. Whew. That was probably like hour and a half-ish grind. Please always tag me in your wind and grind clips on Instagram. I'd love to see them. It's really fun to connect with you guys there. And here is another trick that I think to this day, I think I invented. If I didn't, don't tell me. It'll crush my spirits. Just kidding. Tell me, of course. I don't know how long these cards last, but should talk. Actually, I think I can set how long they are, so it's probably been there long enough. That should be it. Have a good one. Have a good day.